Okay, well, let's start with the historical part then. The most basic question for our viewers. Why did the Nazis lose if they had such serious occult support?
This is very logical. The Nazis didn't have to win, so they didn't win. They were originally doomed. Make no mistake, those who were behind these events got everything they wanted, and even more. Look, this Nazi elite with their Black Order were just intermediaries. And even the same Hitler was guarded by magicians of the highest initiation reel, with great power, for whom millions of ordinary people who fell into their networks worked. And all their magic tricks were paid for by the life force of people. And of course, these magicians have gathered a very large harvest for themselves. Can you imagine in general the number of people who died during the Second World War? And for these comrades, the life force of people is its food. And in fact, to say that the Nazis directly lost would not be entirely correct, because they left freely anyway. They didn't die. Like these magicians, who stood behind them, they also made the transition. The world is much more complicated than it seems, and the hierarchy in the subtle planes is very strong. Well, even if you look at the events of those times from the visible side, it is obvious that no one would have let Hitler and the Nazis take over the world. Those who ask such a question simply do not understand how and why wars are created. People were taught to think in terms of the Greek victory of some and the defeat of others. But this is all, in fact, the same framework of propaganda, beyond which people are not allowed to go out to see the situation holistically. And in fact, this is just a staged performance, where all the scenery is arranged, the roles are distributed, the result is planned and the winnings have long been divided. You know, there is an expression, when a dog throws a stick, it runs after the stick, and when they throw a stick to a lion, he looks at the one who threw it to him. That's what I suggest you do. Finally look at those who manipulate you and who is behind the creation of such events. Because while your attention is completely absorbed by the thrown stick, they, this well-defined circle of people behind your back, realize their personal interests. So it happened then. Everyone just solved their own questions. To understand why this war was needed, look at the subsequent result. What did the world map look like before and after? How was the world divided? Who got what? What was the balance of power after the war? It would have been impossible to re-glue the world in a peaceful way, but the war did it. After the Second World War, the world changed irreversibly. Therefore, it is not difficult to calculate the final beneficiaries of this event by simply looking at who received the most benefits in this war. Well, when Hitler played his part, he, like any pawn, was removed from the board. So calm down already with the one who won there, who lost. Not everything is so clear here.
It's clear here.